A very good afternoon to you all. It sense of deja vu. My name is Councillor Ian Selby. I'm Chairman of the Council. The time has just gone 3 o'clock. As I stated in our previous meeting, we are not expecting the fire alarm to sound this afternoon. If the alarm does go off, please leave the building by the nearest exit. The assembly point is on the green in front of St Peter's Hill Surgery. I would like to begin by welcoming all councillors and officers and members of the press and the public who are joining our second extraordinary meeting today. I would also draw your attention to the fact that the meeting is being recorded. Members are reminded that when speaking, comments should be addressed through the chairman and members should speak clearly into their microphone. Members are also reminded to switch off their telephones, please. When speaking, comments should be addressed through the chairman and members speak clearly into the microphone. Members are also reminded that when the chairman starts to speak, you are also to stop speaking and be seated. Throughout this meeting, we will be voting on a show of hands. The only occasions we'll be using a roll call vote if a recorded vote is requested. We will now begin to work through today's agenda. Agenda item number 1, apologies for absence. Can I please ask the Democratic Services Manager to confirm any apologies that have been received in absence for this 3 p.m. meeting, please?
Thank you, Chairman. For those in the chamber, it's as before, but for the benefit of those members of the public that might be joining us for 3 o'clock, it's Councillors Helen Crawford, James Denniston, Richard Dixon-Warren, Phil Gadd, Gloria Johnson, Jane Kingman, Philip Knowles, Bridget Lay, Nick and Penny Robbins, Vanessa Smith, Murray Turner and Councillor Mark Whittington. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, James. Are there any further apologies to be noted? No. Okay, thank you. Agenda item number 2, disclosure of interests. Members are reminded that a disclosable pecuniary interest is an interest that any member holds where they or their spouse or civil partner is likely to receive a financial benefit or disadvantage because of the decision that is being made. For example, this could be because of their employment or a dividend they have in respect of an affected business. It also covers any land they hold. Members should also consider whether they have any other registrable interests or non-registrable interests that would need declaring at the meeting in accordance with the Council's Code of Conduct. Once you've declared an interest, you should leave the meeting, not speak or vote on the debate. If any member has any interests that they need to disclose, please indicate them now. Councillor Rosemary Trollope-Bellew.
Judicial interest, I'm a landlord.
Thank you. Is there any other? No. Okay, thank you. If during the debate it becomes clear that you have a disclosable pecuniary interest or any other interest in an item, you can declare it at the relevant point of the meeting. We will now proceed to the next item of business, which is public open forum, agenda item number 3. I will now ask the Democratic Services Manager to confirm whether any questions have been received from members of the public.
Thank you again, Chairman. No questions or statements from members of the public today for this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now move on. I've got 2 members have actually indicated to speak. Councillor Lee Steptoe is first on my list. Councillor Steptoe.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Surprise, surprise, I would like to do exactly as I did previously, so I'm invoking item 13.6D to refer back to the appropriate committees. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder, please? Councillor Sherrock. Councillor Max, sorry, you indicated to speak. Is it a point? Oh, okay. That's okay. Thank you. Okay, now I've got a seconder. go to debate on that then. Councillor Gareth Knight, please.
Thank you, Chairman. This was what a surprise that we've had this motion. This must be the first time that a Conservative group is proposing a motion to fast-track a Labour government policy and being stopped in that process by the Labour group on the council. This motion is different to the previous one in the sense that this motion is extremely time-critical. There is a very specific issue right now, right this second, about Section 21 notices. I'm not going to go into the detail of that because I think I should have the right to present this motion. There are various members in this chamber on all sides who have received various communications about Section 21 notices being issued to their residents. I believe we should be debating this. If we don't debate this, the reality is we're going to do nothing and we have the opportunity to do so. So therefore I ask that you vote against Councillor Steptoe's motion. Thank you.
Councillor Gareth Knight, thank you very much. Full Council, would you please excuse me for a few minutes? Councillor Anna Kelly is going to take over for a few minutes, so please excuse me.
Thank you. If members are ready to continue, could Councillor Ben Green please speak? Thank you.
It turns on. Thank you very much, Madam Chairman. This is the same playbook we saw at Lincolnshire County Council. Gesture politics dressed up as moral outrage, this time at the taxpayers' expense, by holding an extraordinary full council. And it's back.
Councillor Green, can I remind you that you are speaking to the motion that is actually currently taking place? So if you could address all your comments and make sure they are all very relevant, that would be great. Thank you.
So we'll leave you to your posturing. The people of South Kesteven see through it. They want controlled immigration, not open borders, not empty theatre.
Councillor Green, this is not the motion at hand. If our next councillor would like to speak to the motion, the next councillor on my list is Councillor Rees-Baker. Thank you, Councillor Baker.
Before, we have had motions come before this body and then be referred on to the appropriate committee. That is where meaningful, thoughtful discussion can happen. If I were to ask this chamber how many members could quote paragraph 54 of the NPPF, which is relevant, I am not convinced all of us would be able to do that. Whereas sitting in front of a committee with a report written by office allows us to be fully informed, fully thoughtful, and to debate the merits of the proposal, rather than engaging in the theatre. So I would ask people support this motion, that this very technical decision, with lots of very emotive, careful thought, emotive, careful, difficult grounds to cover, that needs a lot of thought, be debated in that appropriate, well-prepared, well-informed setting.
Thank you, Councillor Baker. Could I have Councillor Sawyer, please?
Thank you, Madam Vice Chairman. As before, I propose that Councillor Steptoe's motion be voted on now.
I have two other people who have requested to speak. So at this point, Councillor Shorrock, did you wish to add anything?
No, but I would, but I don't really want to. So I'm going to second Councillor Sawyer's procedural motion, which is the question now be put.
Thank you. Councillor Cleaver, please.
colleague, Councillor Baker, it is perfectly normal in these circumstances for a contentious issue to be referred back for proper scrutiny. We have scrutiny committees for a reason. It is to make sure that we do good decision making that takes account, especially where you have complex, technical, contentious issues. It's a perfectly appropriate thing to do. It's something I've certainly requested before in my time as a councillor, both in opposition and in the administration. So people shouldn't feel that there's anything wrong with what we're proposing. It's a perfectly proper thing to do, and it's a shame that the proposers of these motions haven't requested these to go to scrutiny off their own bat previously. Thank you.
Thank you very much. If I have anyone who's offering any new information, my next speaker is Councillor Sarah Trotter. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Sawyer moved the procedural motion that the question now be put. I seconded that procedural motion. The question now needs to be put.
Thank you for that guidance. I understand that there were already people in the queue, and I'm happy to hear them, and I can make that decision as the chairman. Thank you, Councillor Shorrock. Councillor Trotter.
Again, Madam Chairman. Again, I say this is time critical. What I would ask for is, can I have a full list of dates when the next planning committee has an empty agenda, when the next licensing committee and the housing committee, because we're being told that all these committees need to scrutinise and look at this motion in front. Obviously, we want to get it heard before January 2026. So can I please ask for that information, please, so that our residents know and are confident that it will be discussed, please, before it times out in January 2026. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Trotter. Obviously, that is not information I have available to me at this time, but I refer you to the monitoring officer. Thank you.
Thank you. Just to confirm, it will be a joint committee, so I'll work with the relevant chairs of those committees to agree a date for the meeting to take place. Thank you. And then we'll let you know. Thank you.
Obviously, we'll need to make a decision about this, so we could go to the vote at this point to know whether that's going to be unnecessary.
Sorry, just to clarify. Because this one will just go to housing, it can go to the next housing committee, which I believe is in November. Thank you.
Right, so I think we are ready. Councillor Penny Mills, please.
Yes, if I could just add, it probably still needs to go to the planning committee, because if we're continuing to talk about the elephant in the room and asylum seeker accommodation, if by any chance Serco come with a new proposal for a new HMO, that will require planning permission. Now, if they're using existing HMOs, you know, we have no control over who goes into those HMOs. And the only hiccup in that system is the smaller properties up to 5 people have no controls over them at all. So I do think this one should go to the planning committee as well, because there are planning issues involved here. Oh, sorry.
Mr. Baker, thank you.
My understanding that the planning committee was a quasi-judicial committee, and this risks blurring the lines and therefore making a political statement from that committee. I would like some clarification from the head of housing as to whether the planning committee is in fact the right place for that to go statutorily, please.
Could I ask, please, that the Director of Planning and Housing speak on this? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. In terms of planning committee, we do have a scrutiny committee. It's a joint committee of 2 committees. It's not the planning committee. It's a specific scrutiny committee that would look at planning policy matters in relation to the particular motion that we're looking at now, and those particular evictions, that's not probably a matter that's relevant for that, and I believe it would be better placed at the Housing Scrutiny Committee. Thank you.
Can I just comment back, Councillor Mills, and just say I'm a little confused. Are we actually looking for a discrete difference between putting anyone in a 3 or 4 bed HMO? Are we singling out asylum seekers in your request?
No, my whole point is we can't do that. And if we're talking about the smaller properties, we have, it doesn't even need to go to licensing, it doesn't need planning permission. They can actually cause problems depending on where they are.
Thank you. Could you just stop, please, Councillor Mills? Councillor Dilks, what is your point of order?
Before us, and actually this, even were we to get on to the motion here, it's not about HMOs. It's not about HMOs. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Mills. Is there anyone else who needs to speak? No. Can we ask that you reread the motion so everyone is sure what we will do as we go to the vote? Thank you very much. Councillor Lee Steptoe.
Yeah, it's the same as last time, Madam Vice Chair. So to move this motion by relevant committees before full consideration at full council.
Thank you very much, Councillor Steptoe. Could I have all those in favour of the motion to vote now, please? All those against, please could you vote? 12. All those who abstain. Thank you, one abstention. The motion is carried. Thank you, councillors. So that vote precludes the hearing of the motion, and this will go forward to committees. So it only remains for us to close the meeting. So I thank you all for attending this afternoon, both officers, members of the press and public, and councillors. And I close the meeting at 3:20 p.m. Thank you.